So marketing, I personally like marketing, but it has to come down to numbers. So there's no real spending money on anything unless it returns. Key pillars, this is not, everyone has seen this, it's not overly complicated. I do believe that some sort of lead gen platform is where you need to be. As much as there's, you know, you could do it with REW. We've got a few, who's with REW? You are? And so you went all into REW. Yeah. REW in addition to something might not be a good idea, but yeah, so I do believe you need one of those platforms where you're able to throw traffic at it and it converts and you can track your conversion and it's a numbers game. And if you want to attract agents, because agents do want leads. Some of these agents don't really know better, you know, that it's easy to generate leads. They think it's really hard. For them, $1,000 or $1,500 a month for one of these lead gen systems is a ridiculous amount of money. They can't even fathom spending that. So if you can have them come on your team and it's like $8 to $10 a lead, you give them 30 to 40 leads a month, they can wrap their head around that and they'll see tremendous, way more value than you're actually giving them. Yard marketing, I do believe that having 3 signs, you know, giving the buyer option in the front yard of a property. Who's not using 3 signs? Some of you, who's not doing it because like HOA stuff? So there's some of you that, so just going to 3 signs, I promise you your call volume will double. So having that solo sign with just the person on the front of the sign that they think is going to answer the phone when they call, having VoicePad or some equivalent. ProQuest I think is just a bit clunkier to set up, but a separate yard sign and then a separate everyday open house. Ryan.
I just want to give a testimonial to that. I brought on a new buyer's agent. She had a listing and she had had a house for 6 months on the market. And I said, well, I won't take it over, but I'll just go put my signs up there, my 2 other signs, besides her 1. And she got a call within the first 3 days and is under contract because of that separate ugly sign.
Yeah, it's ugly. Some of you try to make it prettier, but ugly or pretty, it works because it just gives the buyers options. So if you raise your hand, you didn't do it, and you definitely can do it on 75% or more of your listings, that is a definite to do. So farming, I've just kind of lumped in, you know, expireds. I just have a belief that if we know someone is trying to sell their home and we are trying to serve our market, whatever you do to reach out to that person, it doesn't really matter what it is as long as it's effective and dollar productive. I don't think you're legit if you're not reaching out to expireds. And I admit I'm not doing a good job calling expireds, but every expired within a certain mile radius above a certain price point in my market, the next day after they expired, they're getting a piece of mail. And then they're getting 4 or 5 pieces after that. And we're testing the postcards now. So same thing for FSBOs, same thing. So we just started the farm. I've been farming my neighborhood for a while. It's not the best neighborhood to farm, but I live there. But we'll do 6, 7 sides from my neighborhood, and hopefully the Discover pubs, once I add in all the ninja stuff that Kirby's doing and Christina's doing. And then Raving Fan Club. So 4 and 5 are about 40% of my business now. And so the only calls we do are, there's an admin that calls around the 2 giveaways and around the 2 client events. So they get 4 calls per year. Each of those things get 2 postcards. We do the Discover pubs. I do the Discover pubs to my past clients in my sphere, just because it's one sort of a very easy thing to do. We send them a separate list. We get charged 25 cents more per copy, so it's still like way cheaper than what I was doing. It's about, what, 79 cents then? Yeah, so for 80 cents, now people get a full, like a newspaper published by me. So that's it.